Hello, and welcome back. This is episode 7 of my LP. This is KMBKomhyr, and I'm online with Crabcore, aka Rom. And yeah, he's the guy with the big pit in the ground and all the cows that he was using for experience. And yeah, that's him. I guess he's online right now just letting his cows mature. But well, I thought today we would first do just a little episode, a little update on what's been going on. You can see I got a lot more sheep in there. Been getting a lot of wool. I have probably, geez, I don't even know, 10 or 12 stacks of red wool. This is new because, oh, some sheep have been escaping. It's a crappy pen, but it's just temporary. We had a little mishap here. Rom there went AFK right near the cow pen here and got creepered and blew a hole in it and everything escaped. So I've been breeding them a bit to get them back up to the numbers I want. So that's that. Head over to the tower now. And it's not very safe at night taking this route, but I'll take the overland route here. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up with a tunnel through the mountain as a better route to get over here, but this is okay for now. I can hear something. I don't know what that is. Oh well. Yeah, so I've done a little bit more work on the redstone for the tower, and I moved these lamps down a block. I thought it looked a little bit better there, and additionally I have now completed the boat timer back here. It's basically identical to what was seen in the creative world, and it works. It took an awful lot of time to get the boats aligned properly. Probably went through 10 or 12 boats to get them in there now, and now that they are, I can never touch them again. If I nudge them at all, I'll have to start all over, and that'll be a pain. But yeah, we can start her up. And whoops, that's a little bit too far down. Start it up with the temporary activation mechanism here. So this button, this is how the whole timer gets activated. Boat floats up, spins around, and starts moving down the cobwebs there. And then this one is here being held down by that fence gate there, and every time it moves up, it hits one of the pressure plates, so we can simulate one of those. He activates that, and then we should have one light on, simulating 4 minutes elapsed on the timer. So yep, we got one lamp on there, and then when the other boat finishes making its fall through the cobwebs, we'll get another tick and another lamp on. So next, I was actually going to head over to Biff's place, which is the guy that's, whatever, 10,000 blocks in the real world in that direction, and that's because he's got his mob spawner pretty much working now. It's all hooked up. I was over there before, and that's why I have a pretty empty inventory. I want to get a bunch of items from there, so yeah, we'll go check out the rates and check out how that whole thing works. It's a pretty cool design. I like it quite a bit. It's just really, really far away. So I'll come back when I get there. Actually, part way down the tunnel to his place, I thought I'd show this off here. We're only about maybe 100 blocks in the nether from my portal to the tower. We have this spot marked out with the cobblestone, and down this way, I don't think it's too far, is something pretty neat that we'll probably be doing something with in the future. I thought it was only maybe 100 blocks or so. Well, it might be a little bit further. Anyways, you can probably guess what it is. It's a very nicely positioned double blaze spawner, so we'll have to figure out something to do with that. I'd rather not just copy Etho's ice cream cone design. Might be able to come up with something unique. Yeah, we'll see what we can do with that, but yeah, just head on down here, and alright, so you can see we're at a fortress here, and I can hear a blaze. These spawners are completely disabled, so we should be alright here. I don't know where that guy was. Alright, yeah, here they are. One spawner in each block here, and yeah, completely disabled, and you can see how nicely positioned they are. They are exactly diagonal from each other, and yeah, it's just pretty much perfect, exact same level, pretty close together. It's a really, really great setup here. It's not you know, lined up like Ethos, but this could be better. I don't know. We'll come up with something in the future, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. And oh, there's that guy. I don't want to mess with him right now. We'll head on over to the mob farm in Biff's place. So I'll be back once again. Okay, I'm back, and we're in the home stretch, headed toward Biff's place. You could just see a little bit of difference there, and that is some snow marking the end of his tunnel and the entrance to his place. So it's simple but nice. So we'll check out what he's got going on here. Alright, so he's got things a little bit scattered around, but let's see here. He's got, alright, his mine shaft. Nobody wants to see that. He's got, I guess this is a snow harvester. Yeah, okay. What else does he have here? His home base is here. He's got kind of a neat door to it. Yeah, I like that. I think those buttons are just hooked up to a T flip-flop under the ground. I don't think he's spent a lot of time inside here working on stuff lately. It's kind of pretty plain, but this isn't the cool part of his place. Alright, he's got some sheep cells. His sheep aren't escaping. Mine are so unruly. Just got maybe a couple other farms or whatever. Oh, I don't know if I've seen this. Okay, just a beef pen. A beef pen. Yeah, you guys are already beef. Don't even think about thinking of yourselves as cows. Anyways, that's pretty much the inside of his place. Like mine, very plain, very utilitarian. Got some plans for the future, but been working on bigger and better things. So let's head over to the Death Star. The big, round mob farm in the sky. Whoop. Got my feather falling. Don't worry about that. Alright, just starting to come into view there, the way up. Let's see what he's got here. Can we see it yet? Reload. Okay, it's coming into focus. Oh yeah, it's pretty neat. Built that all by hand out of stone brick. A lot of material, a lot of time spent. But it's working pretty darn well. So I'll take you up there and I'll show you how it all works. And you probably don't want to see me climbing the ladder to get up there, so I'll cut here and we'll come back when I'm up at the top. Well, I've climbed all the way up okay, we're at about Y220, and we're on the side of the sphere, and this is the entrance to his mob harvesting system, his mob farm. So I'm not sure what kind of rates we're gonna get, because ROM is online right now, but the rates are very good when you're all alone here. Anyways, what he's done here is he's designed the sphere so that when you stand right here, which I believe should be the dead center of the whole thing, you're standing in the exact center of the sphere, and that means that every spawnable spot here all the way up to this level is exactly the right distance from the center to spawn mobs. And we're getting a few here, but yeah, we'll maybe ask ROM to log off in a couple minutes here so we can see it working fully. But yeah, so you get mobs spawning all along the inside, and it's decent rates. But these dispensers are hooked up to a clock, and they spit out some water, and that washes all the mobs down to the middle, into that drain down there, and then it stops, pulls the water back, and lets more mobs spawn, and just keeps cycling. And then these water streams here actually transport all the items up here to the middle, and he's got kind of a neat item elevator for that. I'm not sure exactly where he got that design. He told me that this mob farm design isn't his own, but he did change it into a sphere and came up with the clock system and stuff himself. So yeah, let's go take a look at how it all works. So if we climb up to the top, you can see he's got all half slabbed out to try to prevent as much unwanted mob spawning as possible, but he still gets a few things happening up here. Yeah, this is half slabs too. And here's one clock here. So this one controls the water streams, and yeah, so I guess what happens is, yeah, okay, so these solid blocks are blocking off the redstone signal from that torch from getting through and going around to the dispensers. So every time the pistons rotate the piston tape around and a glass block is in front, is in that spot instead of a stone brick, it allows signal through and toggles the dispensers. So you can see that will be when the water comes out, and that will be when the water goes back in. So it's just a couple, 3 blocks between, and then a longer delay to allow mobs to spawn up. And then let's see, I don't know if he has a way of activating this from down below. Where does this redstone wire go to? Yeah, I'm not sure. I might have to manually activate this clock. Well, let's give that a try. Just get a signal going around here by placing a torch. How am I gonna do this? I guess I don't even have a pick with me. Well, I'll get everything going, and then I'll get back to you here. Okay, I got it working here, so you can see, I guess it was rotating this way instead of that way, but the water will be out right now, and then, oh, no it won't, because I stole his torch. Okay. Huh. Alright, I'll just put that back there, and, okay, well, you know how this works. We'll go down and take a look at the rest of it here. Was this the way? I think it was. Okay, so that is the water system. I'm sure he'll hook up an easier way to get it going. You can see the wire that goes all the way around the outside that does all the dispenser work. And then down here we have a second piston tape clock that has a different function. I think he has this set up so I can just hit this button. I hope so. Does he not? Okay. Anyways, I'll explain how this works and then I'll get this going too. So this one is very similar. It has the cutoff block right there, as the other one does. And all that does is shoot out these two pistons, if I can get them in view here. Okay, there they are, right there. So this is his item elevator here. I think I can get up to take a look at it. Oh, I don't know my way fully around here, so I'm getting a little bit lost and scattered. Okay, so the signal comes up here, sends power to this piston first, which closes off the water stream, and then sends power to this piston, which pushes a block out, forcing the items up. And he's got kind of a neat system that I'd never heard of before. So the drain is over there where the mobs come down. You can see some there now. So they die. The items hit the ice and shoot forward, and they go up against the back wall there. And then when the piston shoots out to force the blocks up, they go into a one-wide chute with a ladder in it, and that apparently works as an item elevator, and I had no idea. So I learned something new. So yeah, he's just got a lava blade killing mobs there, and it doesn't... right now it's not set up to get items from spiders, but he's talked about provisions for that, and it has some trouble with Endermen, but we've talked about some things he might be able to do to fix that. So I'm going to get this clock going, and we can go check out the rates inside and see what kind of amazingness he's got going on. Alright, well, I figured out that the problem was either a missing piece of redstone or a missing repeater in his clock, so I came down here to get the materials to fix it, but I just wanted to take a second to show everybody at home the dangers of shift clicking while crafting. Yeah, he's got, let's see here. Well, he's got about 21 diamond shovels, and that's about 20 more than he needs. He got frustrated one day after dying and losing some stuff and accidentally shift clicked on a crafting bench, and now he's got more diamond shovels than he can shake a stick at and no diamonds anymore. So yeah, be careful when you're crafting. Okay, well, I did a little troubleshooting and I got everything working properly. So yeah, I can give you a real demonstration of the spawn rates and that sort of thing. You can see the water is subsiding right now, and we're getting spawns along the edge of the sphere here, and you can see that the rates are pretty solid. Getting a lot of mobs. Like I said, it doesn't deal with Endermen, which is too bad because we need a lot of Ender pearls to find our stronghold and get to the end. But other than that, it's a great system. So we got lots and lots of mob spawns. Very dangerous to fall off. Making sure I have a firm hold on that shift key. But yeah, so the water comes out, starts washing them all down. They won't all make it there every time, but that's alright. They'll eventually get there. And they're all too close to despawn, so we're good there. Did I just see a creeper fall? That was weird. Anyways, yeah, so you can see them all getting washed down into the drain there, into the lava blade, and then the drops just float on up to you. So you just get to stand right here, and wow, you can see pretty nice rates. So I'm gonna sit here for a bit and get a whole bunch of stuff to take back with me, but It's a really neat system, and you know what it really reminds me of? It's like a Cerebro from X-Men. You stand in the middle of a big sphere on this walkway that juts out. Man, it really reminds me of that. That's cool. But yeah, it's a neat farm. I like it quite a bit. So now that I have a really ready supply of gunpowder and bone meal and all that kind of stuff, I can do some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, next time I get back to you, probably be back at the tower, and we'll get some building done, maybe some redstone stuff. I have an idea for what we can do today, so I'll be back. Okay, well, I'm back at the tower project, and I've worked out pretty much the entire rest of the redstone logic that I need to finish off that part of it. So it looks like a bit of a complicated mess here, and this is kind of just the blueprints, kind of just the plans for how I'm going to hook it up over there, but I felt it might be easier to lay it out like this for me to look at it and to have it here to refer back to as I'm building it here and down there and just getting all the wiring run. So here's how it works. Over here we have the egg shooting, like the circuit that goes to the dispenser is activated here with this button. So that roughly corresponds to this, but we're gonna have it set up more like that with the button and then the light 2 blocks above. So yeah, just imagine the button, I believe, here, and then the light up there. So what happens here is this is all in its default position if you were shooting eggs into the system. So here you can see the light is on, meaning that this button is active, and every time I hit it we get a pulse here which turns on this whole circuit and the clock and shoots eggs into the system. So as long as we're able to do this, this AND gate is allowing the signal through, and here we have output to the egg dispenser circuit, so that's that part there. So we're shooting eggs into the system and we're getting baby chickens hatched, and we go until we get 128 hatched, and the binary counter is keeping track over there until we get to 128, and as soon as we do, we get a signal from it. So when we do, the signal will come in here where this button is, and it will flip this RS NOR latch here. So it's here, and then that wire is part of it there. So this RS NOR latch right now is keeping that torch off with that dust and allowing that torch on, which allows the light on, indicating that this this button is active, and it keeps that torch off so that the AND gate can be properly triggered to allow the egg dispenser circuit to be activated. So as soon as the binary counter triggers 128 chickens, we get this RS NOR latch flipped, which turns this dust off, allows that torch on, which turns off the lamp and no longer allows the AND gate to be fired. And it also sends a signal from that torch through this monostable circuit with this repeater set to 3 just to lengthen the tick long enough, lengthen the signal long enough to flip this RS NOR latch, which corresponds directly to the RS NOR latch for the 20-minute timer. So basically, when the binary counter finishes counting to 128, deactivates that button and starts the 20-minute timer. So we can see that work right here. I'll just hit the button. We got the pulse. This RS NOR latch flipped. The light went off, and you can see if I hit the button trying to fire more eggs, nothing. And over here we have something very similar to this. This is the button to fire the chicken cooker up in the sky, and so right now that indicator light is also off, but we'll get to that more later. So this RS NOR latch for the boat timer right there is now activated. So the boat timer is going around and around and around, and after 20 minutes it will be turned back off automatically by itself. It turns itself off, so that'll be that button. But while it's on, we're taking a signal off of it here, and this is where it gets a little messy. I'm sorry, I kind of ran out of room here for running the wire. So this RS NOR latch, when it's flipped like this, sends a signal down here over to here, and that keeps this AND gate turned off, and I don't need to worry about the torch because this RS NOR latch is keeping, or the lamp, because this RS NOR latch is keeping it turned off at the moment. So as long as that's powered, we still can't fire eggs as long as the timer's going, and it sends the signal, same signal the other way to the other AND gate for this button right here. Sends a signal there so that this one can't be fired either, and it also splits that same signal off up to this torch so that that indicator light doesn't come on, signaling that the chickens are ready for harvest. So as soon as the 20-minute timer finishes its cycle, turns itself off, and these lines go off. Now this AND gate still will not allow a signal through because this RS NOR latch is still keeping that torch on, which means that this whole side of the circuit is disabled. That button won't work. But as soon as the 20-minute timer finishes, now this light is on, and that means the second it's done, we can harvest the chickens with that button there. And you can see that button sent a signal. Turn that torch off, allowed the AND gate to turn on, which sent a signal here, which turned this RS NOR latch back to the default position. Additionally, it let's see here. Right. So this RS NOR latch that corresponds to this side of the circuit, when it is in the default position, it's not allowing this light to turn on or the AND gate over here to signal. So this is almost like an RS NOR latch in itself, the whole circuit. This kind of in a roundabout way eventually allows this side to come on, and then as soon as you hit this, it turns the other side off. So this is now back to the default position, and when you hit that to harvest the chickens, it again sends a signal off to the chicken cooker and sends a reset signal for the 5 timer indicator lights. And let's see, additionally we have another output here while the 20-minute timer is on, and also while the just until the whole system is reset, till this RS NOR latch is reset to its default position. This sends out the lava and the piston that keeps more chickens from entering the system at that time, so we keep our count. So that's an additional to an output to that hatchling killer. So it is pretty complicated, but I'll go through it again. So we're hatching chickens into the system. The counter counts to 128, toggles that, light goes off, timer starts. Timer cycles for 20 minutes, goes off on its own, allows this side to come on so we can kill the chickens, and as soon as we hit that, we can get over here so we can see the torch. Resets the whole system back to default. Whoops. And that is how that is going to be wired up. Okay, well, looks like that's going to be about it for time for today. I hope the episode didn't end up too dry with me talking about the redstone again. We're almost done, real close with this project. And next time, I'm going to have to be doing a little bit of rebuild work at the top of the tower there. It turns out when I was doing my measurements, For some reason, I decided it'd be okay to work from memory for a little bit of the top there. Turns out my memory was wrong. So it's too narrow right at the top. Now the good thing about that is it's supposed to be 9 blocks diameter instead of 7. And you know, I built this whole thing in Creative and MC Edit just to get the look right before I built it here. And so in Creative I went and did some editing to try to fix it up, and it turns out once I have it fixed, I think it looks even better. So we'll get that changed up, and I want to get working on the actual upper part of the tower next time. I won't be able to get some of it done because I need to wait for quartz blocks to be in the game to get the white look that I need and the nice curves on the tower, and you'll see how that all works out. But yeah, it's kind of ironic because I said I wasn't going to wait for the Redstone update to do all the redstone work, but it turns out I'm going to have to wait for the quartz anyways, not for comparators, but just for the aesthetic look of the tower. And it's going to take a lot of quartz to do what I need, but that's alright, we'll get it done. So next time, some building, and I might have all that redstone logic installed, and we'll rebuild that temporary chicken thing into a more permanent form. It's terrible the way I did it. It's god awful. It kills like every chicken eventually. I'm pretty much out of eggs. I'm gonna have to go on an egg hunt to get the whole thing populated. So my bad on that, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.